around. Um, so I'll go ahead and introduce myself now. My name is Courtney Vance. I am a senior project manager at C. Kearney Consulting. And my icebreaker to you is basically we're going to go around, say our name or firm and what AI product you primarily use, if you use multiples, or if you're not using one, that's great. You can just say, oh, I'm not using it, just here to learn, whatever the case may be. So the products, I actually use two products primarily, and that is Copilot for Microsoft 365, as well as ChatGPT-4. So going around in the order that I see, Julie, if you could introduce yourself, your firm, and what AI product you use the most.
Hi. Hi everyone. It's my first time to attend a chat, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but I'm a senior marketing specialist at Spa Glass Construction here in Houston. And I just was kind of going to listen in. I use Copilot just because it's so easy to get to on my desktop. And then I do use ChatGPT, but not the paid version. I'm still going on the free stuff, which I realize isn't as secure. But I've had the opportunity to listen to Kristen Klotz, a few Kristen's stuff, and it's just so overwhelming to me. So that's why I just kind of wanted to listen in and see kind of where the rest of the people in the industry were in terms of using it. So that's me.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you for that. So next on our list is Carrie. If you could please introduce yourself and what product you're using.
Yes, I'm Carrie Mitchell with Rogers O'Brien Construction, and I'm an application support manager. We are currently using, I use ChatGPT quite a bit. I think Copilot is integrated with the apps nowadays or with the web browsers. So I guess I use that sort of kind of, and Open Asset has integration built in, and I'm using that as well.
Great. So next on my list is Brittany. Please feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Brittany Rizzo. I've never been on one of these chats either. A coworker forwarded me the invite. I'm just kind of checking it out. So not really familiar with what you all do here. So kind of just trying to learn a bit. But like you, Courtney, I use the similar the ChatGPT. I use the Bing 360 integrated with the Microsoft.
And Emily.
Garney, sorry, I don't know if I said that.
Me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Emily. I work for KPFF, Los Angeles OC, Director of Marketing. I use the paid ChatGPT and Copilot as well.
Excellent. And Natalie. Hey, Natalie.
Hello, I'm on late. I'm Natalie Price. I'm with Kraus Anderson Construction Company in Minneapolis. I'm the MIS manager, and I think I very little use any GPT, but we have a paid subscription, so here to learn.
Excellent. And Cecilia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cecilia Rango with Thompson Hutton, and we have a paid subscription to ChatGPT as well as Copilot. So, and I use it all the time. We are currently working with our AWS consultant to help build an AI integration deal with our CRM network. Our CRM right now, we use Vantage Point, but we also created our in-house nerds created our own proprietary CRM system, and so which pulls from Vantage Point. So I'm very interested in all of this in terms of what information we can get out of that data and using the CRM system. So excited to be here. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So Danica.
Hi, Danica Nelson with WGM Group consulting firm here in Montana. And right now just using the free versions of whatever I can find, primarily ChatGPT and Copilot.
Great, thank you. Jen.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen Puri from Garney Construction. I'm that coworker that got Brittany in here. At Garney, there's a group of us that are testing out the paid version of Copilot at Microsoft or for Microsoft 365. And so I use it every day. I was using the free version for a bit. Now that we have the paid version, I use it for so much all the time.
Excellent. And Gail.
Hi, I jumped in a couple minutes late, but I'm getting the gist. I'm Gail Maldonado with HR Green, and we have been doing a lot of investigating into how to use AI. I would say I'm using ChatGPT. We've investigated done a handful of demos on things that integrate with Vantage Point, as well to try to connect the systems and really kind of be able to leverage it as efficiently as possible for the pursuit and marketing staff.
Great, thank you. And next, Kevin.
Hey everybody, Kevin Hebblethwaite with Stanbaugh Ness. We are a Dell Tech shop headed for Vantage Point, likely towards the end of this year. Paying very close attention to the Dell Tech Dela features, if you're familiar with those, that are the sort of the in-house ones. Very interested in sort of in-house protected AI versus public and find everything AI. So that's one thing I have on my list. And as far as what else we use, I'm personally a freebie account kind of person. Haven't jumped into any particular thing myself. Others in the firm are using all the household names that have already been mentioned in some combination or another. Good to see everybody.
Great. Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly with Windover. I'm just jumping on to see what you guys are using or just taking advantages of the webinar to listen to others on the call.
Okay, great. And Brian.
Hey, Kirsten. Hey, Courtney. Brian Neal with Rudolph Libby. We are a CoCentral / Uninet shop, and we experiment with a lot of different AI type things. Not sure if I love that. And I'm not sure if the in-house nerds have anything going or not, but the underground, we have a little bit going here and there. So.
Okay, great. Thank you. The last two. So first Gina and then Anna. Or Gina might be having, so we'll go ahead and go to Anna, and then actually also as well, Christina after her.
Hi, I'm Anna from Nibby Brothers. I'm sorry, I'm just joining the call a little bit late. So what are we answering?
Oh, so your name, your firm, and what AI products you're using.
Oh, we are using Uninet.
Great. Okay, and last but not least, let's go ahead and jump over to Christina, and then we'll open it up to some discussion.
I'm Christina Leahy with Uninet CRM, formerly CoCentral, powered by CoCentral, I think is our name. I'm a 4.0 paid user. I use it all day long, and I'm working with our in-house nerds to extend our AI with our products. So yeah, that's it. Great to see you guys.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. It sounds like a lot of us on the call are using AI tools. So I really want to open up the floor now and just anybody jump in whenever you're ready and give us a little insight of how you're using AI in your workday.
I'll jump in. I would say for the most part right now, because we don't have anything that's connected to our data, mostly what I've used it for is edits, quick edits. You know, I'll just kind of type out the point of what I want to get across and the main topic and everything like that, and then just kind of toss it in ChatGPT and say, you know, improve this, and get back something that is just clearer, more concise, organized just a little bit better, before I, you know, review and send it off.
I see a lot of nods, so I'm seeing that others are doing that as well. Is anybody using it differently?
I've been using it for, I have to give a quarterly report to our board on our like hit rate on proposals. And so I will upload our report that I get out of our BD. Our in-house CRM system is nicknamed BD Bloodhound. And so I upload that spreadsheet in there and ask ChatGPT to give me a summary and pull out any interesting tidbits that I could share with our board. So I've been doing that, and also uploading RFP documents along with our checklist and asking it to fill it out, create short list presentation overviews, and that's what I've been using it mainly for.
That's really cool. Any other use cases for AI in your daily work?
I use it pretty often. So I work in Excel and Power BI a lot, and those DAX formulas and functions and calculations and most all that stuff I can't always keep in my mind. So I ask Copilot all the time, okay, how do I do this? Or how do we do this calculation? And it walks me through, and I might say, that didn't work, give me something else. It'll change it, it'll tweak it. I might say, okay, now use my data, and I'll populate it with a little bit of my data, and then it'll kick it back out. I can create my measures a lot easier that way. But I also use it the same way, Gail, that you mentioned. I do that a lot. I put in, maybe it's even in an email. So because we have the Copilot version in Outlook, I can start to write something, and it'll also look at all of the responses before and like suggest a response. So that's really helpful. I've also been using it in PowerPoint. So it'll help you design it a little bit better. It'll give you some ideas. And then one other use case that I use it for is if you're using Excel in a browser and you have your Copilot open, it'll give you data cleanup suggestions. So it'll say like, we found a bunch of like additional blanks after text. Do you want us to clean that up? Yes or no? Or like a column that looks like it has a bunch of values that should be the same, but some are a little bit different. It gives you some of that. So those are kind of a few examples of the things I've been using it for lately.
That's really cool. Anyone else before we move on to the next question? Great. So I also I'm curious to know, whenever you're creating your prompts and working with these tools, is there a recipe that you follow, or just some tips and tricks, something that has helped you to get better results in how you're interacting with the AI?
I can share a thing that I was doing that I was actually kind of surprised by, which was we did a lot. I do a lot with like demo data, right? Because I want my data to be good and believable, but fake. So it's not even real data. But I was Anna and I, creating a bunch of fake descriptions, and I found that I had to paste into GPT. I couldn't upload a big giant spreadsheet, and also weirdly, the more specific I got about what I wanted, the kind of the worse the results were, right? Like we had written this like 2-paragraph thing about how to create fake project names, and they were terrible. And instead I went back and said, I want you to create fake project names that have some regional, aspirational names and would be relevant for architectural engineering construction work. With 2 sentences, it did a much better job for me. So it was really kind of interesting. Like sometimes more specifics give you worse results. Sometimes, so it was interesting. Like some prompts get better. And I have been really experimenting with saving prompts too, which is a good tip that I got to amplify, which is the things that I use all the time. I made it save as a prompt so I could just say, just do this, kind of like a macro in Excel.
Excellent. Anybody else?
Yeah, I haven't, does ChatGPT let you save prompts like in it?
Yes.
I haven't
The
tried that
page.
yet. I need to do that.
It's amazing.
I type the same thing over and over
I
again,
know.
like a newbie. But similarly, I've been trying to save the prompts that I use normally, like in another area, because I'll type in a prompt and the results I get back, I'm like, oh yeah, that word does mean that too, doesn't it? Like, so like tailoring what we use internally, HR green language, all of a sudden when you put it in Chat GPT means something like completely different. So kind of learning how to adapt to get it to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah, personally, I use some of the, the saving tool, the features to save the prompts in the, Chat GPT and Copilot. But I have to have my hard copy. So I always say, like, if I find a recipe that works, I'm like, oh, I have to save it so that just in case, because I'm always afraid that I'll lose it. I see you're nodding your head as well, Cecilia. So you do the same thing?
Yeah, I started an Excel spreadsheet. I think it was probably from Amplify as well that I started saving all of my prompts and follow-up questions and things like that. Because I've noticed before with the paid version, I do love it because you can just pull up, your past chat and, keep going, if it's the same things that you're looking for. But another thing that I've done too is customize the Chat GPT so that it understands exactly who you are, what language you want from it. So I forget which webinar I sat in, but he said, use Spartan language and cut out the flowery language. And so I put that in there. And so now I can tell, that it's gotten a lot better in terms of the output and, for our technical teams to look at it, they've definitely, it's fooled them. So
I did similar. I was like, stop using corporate buzzwords. Don't use jargon. Stop using the word seamless. Like there's a whole bunch of words. I was like, no. Pull yourself together.
That's great. Thank you. So when you guys are building or engineering your prompts, are there any challenges that you're facing, and how do this kind of, some of this may have already been answered, but how are you, approaching it to find the solution, when you come across those challenges?
I think for
I
me, it's a
understand your
lot of
question.
trial and error.
Yeah.
Just kind of and not having, kind of being self-taught, right? Just jumping in and messing around with it. It's I've engineered the prompts differently to kind of see what the results, and then just sort of, trial and error for me.
Or asking ChatGPT to ask you the questions it needs to better provide an output has helped too.
I've done that before too.
Mhm.
Like, you tell me what the prompt is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. One of the ways that I like to troubleshoot problems is if I really hit a wall and I'm just like, man, it's really not doing what I need it. I will, ask it to review its work and tell me, how to communicate better. Or if it's giving me the wrong, information, I'll say, hey, check your work. Can you see what you did wrong? Or, some variation of that, and have it self-correct itself. Because in the process, it's reading what it gave you and learning, oh, I did that wrong. I need to improve for the future. Any other strategies for, tweaking your prompts whenever they're just, you're just not quite getting what you want?
I've become pushier about the output that I want once I realized, I can really tell it, like, I want it columnar. I want you to organize it like this. Like, I realized that for it to be really useful for me, sometimes I need it to be output in a very specific way. And that's a huge time saver, depending on what I'm going to do with it.
Excellent.
Same for me, a little bit like that, Christina. I'm like talking back to it a lot, or I'm asking like, okay, so if I go back to my kind of calculation issue and it doesn't work, I'll be like, what did you mean by what you gave me? Or break it down for me because it's not working. Or I'll ask it more questions about it, what it gave me, and then I'll realize, oh, okay, now I understand how I need to tweak my comment next.
I've been doing that with some SQL queries because I'm like by no means an expert. I know a lot, but I was just struggling, and I was like, okay, so why would I get this error? What would be wrong? And it like really figured it out pretty quickly, right? Like, tell me why this wouldn't work for me. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I know sometimes when I'm having it summarize things and I'll notice it'll just like completely ignore something that I felt like was important. So then I'll go back and I'll say, no, I need more detail on such and such.
Great. And, for this last part of the call, I'd like to actually talk about, what are your big ideas that you're looking to use AI for? What kind of, things are you trying to do for the future that you think, man, this would be great if AI could do it, as part of your daily work process?
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here because we are working with our in-house nerds on this, but I'm sure you guys are dealing with this too, but garbage in, garbage out with CRM. So our thing is like when our engineers are putting in a job number or requesting information, they are only filling out whatever is necessary to get a job number and bypassing all the information that we as marketers or anything like that would need that information stored. So we are working with our group to figure out how do we get some of this automated by some of the documents that are already existing through the contracts and through things like that, that even though they may not mark it down or check that box in our CRM software, can AI help filter through those documents and fill that information out so that it's useful for us? So that's something that is the big challenge right now that we are working on. So I'm fingers crossed our nerds come through and get this done, but that's one of the big things. We just started an AI strategy crew here at the office. So we've got front of house, which is marketing, HR, accounting. We've got back of house, which is our IT group, and then we've got the doers, which is the technical team. So we're all trying to identify in it with using our CRM system, what right now is the most tedious thing that is happening for all of us, or what is the information that we're trying to get out of our CRM software that we can't right now get because I'm billable and I don't have time to do that. So that's the big thing that we're focusing on. So fingers crossed, y'all, please.
Yeah, those are some amazing ideas. Definitely keep us posted on, once you get it built and figured out, because that is the dream right there for sure. Any other big ideas of where you're trying to go with AI as it relates to work and your, daily processes?
This is Carrie Rogers O'Brien. We use Uninet, and one of the things, or a few of the things I'm looking forward to in the AI world is being able to just tell our CRM to pull a report with this, and that, and generate that report. I run the reports for our marketing team, and they can get very complex. So that's one of the things. And another thing is maybe to be able to build workflows with an AI and to be able to I guess troubleshoot those workflows through the AI. Maybe you can already do that. I don't know. But that's just my couple things in minutes.
Another thing that we learned about recently, we haven't dabbled in it yet, but want to, is that Microsoft has the Azure AI Studio to build your own in-house AI bot. So we've been kind of dabbling a little bit. I'm sure our in-house nerds, as Cecilia calls them, will start jumping on that in the next few months. But it would be pretty cool to build it on all of our own in-house data and not worry about that security issue.
Any other goals for AI in the future at their workplace, or any wish list like, man, it would be really cool if it could do this?
I think in our firm, the biggest, I think the highest priority that we've seen for where we could take it is in proposal generation, creating resumes and case studies, or pulling the right resumes and case studies, so that, our pursuit staff is starting off with a really good draft already, and able to focus better on content and review and that. So I think that's the biggest thing we're looking at is really the kind of the proposal components.
Gail, I want to second that because we feel the same way for our pursuit team. I think Brittany jumped off. She's on our pursuit team. But yeah, when it comes to just like being able to search all of our archive, all of our proposals we've submitted in the past, read through it, understand what we write about ourselves, how we write it, and just be able to like go off of all of that, I think would be awesome. So I don't know if, again, that Microsoft Azure AI Studio can help with that, but that's something we would really use.
Well, great. Thanks for everything that everybody shared today. It has been a really fun and insightful conversation. It's so cool to see how much AI has been adopted in the AEC industry. And we look forward to seeing you at the next CRM chat. Everybody, have a great day.